What's happening, folks? Welcome to the Paddle and Fin Podcast Network. It's Monday night. What that means, it's Doc Talk time. What's happening, folks? Happy Monday night to you. It's me, Gene, with the TPO Doc Talk Podcast. Tonight's episode being brought to you by Eagle Claw, Trocar, Laser Sharp, American made and trusted. Dude, it's something to be said. This is a legacy company. We grew up, everyone, pretty much, I bet you everybody out there watching this thing right now or watching the recording of this has been a part or used Eagle Claw products over the time. Trocar is that performance side. When pinning the fish is a must and getting the right tool for the right job is a must. Trocar, man, American made should stand for something. It should mean something to you if you like supporting American companies. Poured right here in Denver, Colorado, formed, sharpened, you name it, by all of us right here um, in the USA. I mean, that should, like I said, that should actually count for something out there. Great company, great people. I'm proud to be on the team and very glad they are sponsoring our show tonight. All right, the bills are paid. Two-parter tonight. We've got a pair of super cool guests that are showing up here, going to spend some time with us and talk. First young man coming up is quite the impressive young man. He's an angler, an outdoor enthusiast, an entrepreneur, an inventor. You name it, man. This guy's he's off and running, and I've got like tennis shoes I think older than this cat. But nevertheless, my tennis shoes haven't done what this dude's doing, so it's going to be a lot of fun getting him in here. You're going to meet Joey from Bassraft, and going to learn about the craft he's been doing, plus his experience going around the country, around the Midwest, fishing out of his craft with the All American Kayak Series. Man, super cool. We'll introduce you to him. On the second half, we have I believe it's probably pronounced June Sensano. And that's going to be joining us from the Southern Nevada Kayak Anglers. These guys are, part of the West Coast kayak anglers out there. Anglers in general on West Side, West Midwest. They're left out of a lot of stuff, man. I had the pleasure of being connected with these guys through Battleborn Tackle, and it's just cool. We're gonna have June come on our tournament. He's the tournament director running the show out there. We're gonna learn about the club, learn about the bodies of water they fish out there in southern Nevada, out in the desert. They find bass, believe it or not. They're out there, and these guys go out and get them, and looks like a super cool group. Part of that series where we said we want to continue to go around and throw some love at clubs, in our neighboring states around us here in Colorado, and get to know our brothers and sisters out there that get involved in that. All right, so for the first half here, what we're going to do here is I'm going to bring up. This is a good 1 minute intro, and I want to introduce you to the Bassraft. Stand up and fish. I'm going to give you a full screen on this, and just go ahead and it's about a 1 minute video here that introduces you, and you'll see Joey in here, and this is going to introduce you to the craft that this young man has come up with here. So 1 second, and here we go.
Bassraft. It's the bass boat experience mashed up into a light, portable, catamaran-style kayak, a cat-yak. It's an elite kayak tournament machine made by kayak tournament fishermen. The deck is 3 by 6 and the floats make it 5.5 feet wide, 8 feet long, stable in all directions so you can fish standing up all day long. A bass boat wouldn't be complete without a trolling motor. Neither would a Bassraft. We've designed it for trolling motors and is compatible with the leading brands. Made for adventure fishing, Bassraft is light enough to carry with one arm or on your back. And it paddles well too, like a stand-up paddleboard. Paddle a Bassraft up into the shallows where heavy bass boats and trolling motors fear to tread. And once there, fish like a bass boat, standing on the deck, step back hook sets, oh yeah. The wait is over, and Bassraft is now unleashed for 2024. Order now at bassraft.com. Stand up and fish.
All right. Awesome stuff. So it's a pretty cool little craft. I've seen it firsthand out there. Let's go ahead and get the man himself, Mr. Joey Bassraft. Let's go ahead and bring him onto the show. What's happening, Joey?
Hello, all.
Awesome little
Just
video there, man. So who is this dude? Is the guy that's with you out there? Is that your dad?
Yep, that's my dad.
Awesome. So this is a labor of love for the both of you then.
Yeah. So
Nice.
he kind of was the one who had the original idea of this is possible, like, or is it possible? Um, and kind of talking with my uncle a little bit, and he just kind of heard about composites, and then we built one, and then I built my own for a senior project in high school, and kind of taking it from there. Built, I think it's kind of, well, 6-ish iterations now over the years, and the last two have definitely been far improvements on the first couple. But
Right, right. As you
like,
put the thing together, it takes a little bit of
yep,
time to work out the kinks. Sure.
oh yeah, but
Well, that's awesome stuff, man. And so, what do you did you guys have any kind of experience fishing in kayaks prior to this? What led you to this piece?
yeah. So I'm from Wisconsin, and I know you've lived in Minnesota. Up north, there's a lot of these smaller lakes, and
Lots.
we wanted to fish them and just figure out what small lakes are good up there. And so we did. I so that's kind of we've had a boat, but that's kind of what how it first came about. We wanted to fish these small lakes.
Right,
Um,
right,
and then I my dad started a small club with some friends of ours, and then but we wanted to kind of fish independently because um, he programmed a text messaging based kind of score tracker that's it's similar. Basically, you just catch your fish and then text in the we do by weight. Um, but I wanted to fish. Me and my brother wanted to fish kind of independent, like be able to do our own thing, not have to be in the back of the boat.
right.
So we got a couple lifetime kayaks that were on sale, and I fished out of that for a whole season, and it was a new experience. I enjoyed it, and it like it wasn't the greatest kayak. Like seeing all these other ones fishing these tournaments, I'm like, those are definitely way better than anything I've ever fished out of. But like
Sure.
it wouldn't track great or whatever, and there's no chance I was standing up in it. But I did fish out of it. Didn't do so great that year just because I was I mean I was still learning how to fish, especially like
I was
on my
gonna
own.
I was gonna say, don't let the
Like,
results fool you, brother. I mean,
oh yeah,
you were picking up, vital experience, and that's what the first. I mean, shit. I've been doing this a hot number of years, and I'm still getting my butt kicked and still learning every day when I go out. It's a never ending
yeah.
process.
It was just one of those things. Like fishing in the boat, I would always just let like either my grandpa or my dad take me to the fish, and then I could kind of figure out a way to catch them. But it's like taking myself to fish was just a whole new other way of looking at it.
Right? That changes
But
things up, right?
but yeah, it was like the last tournament of that year. Dad actually fished out of the Bassraft for the first time in a tournament because and we allow boats to, but we just say no wake speeds for like the launch. So then it's like you can run, and we give it like 15 minutes, and for most of us we don't fish any lakes too large, and you can get about a mile pretty easily in 15 minutes. So it's like everyone can spread out enough for
Right.
just no wake. It worked that way, but
So you've had experience fishing in the bass boat or fishing in a boat, and you've had experience from the kayak, and that's kind of what led you and your dad to come up with this concept about what would be a way we could fish these smaller bodies of water and get out there. Dude, I'm going through the same thing. I have my tournament rig, my unlimited with my motors and all my gear and everything. it's not easy to hump around, just in and out of the back of the truck and this and
Well,
that. So I grabbed the U10, that's I'm just paddling only with that thing, and that's
hmm
it's a smaller version, but and your craft though at the Bassraft there, that thing, while it is wide, like the video showed, you can actually, like, I watched you on the shore breaking this thing down and putting it together and carrying it around. It's not that heavy. What does that thing, assembled, what's that thing weigh?
so with like we have the motor on a quick release, obviously. So without the motor and electronics, it was 67 pounds,
That's fantastic, dude.
which is
That's like a 10 and a half, 11-foot kayak right there,
yeah, which
but way
that's
wider.
uh-huh. But that's kind of the main thing about the composites is you get the strength out of and but you still keep the lightweight, but it's definitely learning how to work with them has been it's been a learning curve, but still still definitely improving stuff here and there on processes and that sort of stuff. But
Wanted to throw up a couple pictures here. This is on your car right here, right? Is this your car with
yep,
it up
that's
on
my
top there?
car.
You got it
Yeah.
hoisted up there. Nice.
Yep.
And so the material that you're using to build this thing, it's all composite, correct?
Yep. So that's on the floats we use some Kevlar and then a decorative Kevlar carbon skin that gives it that camouflage. And then the deck is just carbon and the carbon skin.
We
Um,
got a
or the
great question coming in from YouTube right now. As we're broadcasting on about 8 different platforms. We got a good question here. Hustle.gamble says, "What will the weight capacity be?" Have you guys figured that out? What a weight capacity on this is?
we have to actually like get weights and load it down. Because like my math says it won't like submerge until you put like 800 or 900 pounds on it, but I you won't be able to fish out of it at that heavy. So so we're just saying you could be able to fish out of it at 550 pounds of gear on there. Um,
Wow.
but you have to be careful as far as don't like if you have too much weight, you have to balance the weight, otherwise it'll
Weight.
porpoise or
Yep.
whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm I'm comfortable saying it'll float 550 and you'll still be able to fish. We actually need to. It's one of on the list of things to do is get out on the water and actually like get sandbags and weight it down and
Right.
see.
See how
Um,
it.
because I mean, as much as math is nice, there's certain things like I don't exactly like. You just gotta test out and make sure none of the components break or anything like that at that weight because it's like,
Sure.
but
Well, and correct me if I'm wrong, but we're not mass producing these. When an order comes in for a bass raft, it is being made and assembled right then and there, custom for each person. Is that correct?
yes, that is correct.
Nice.
Just doing them out of the shop back to the house.
That is awesome, man.
But
So, are there different models or different versions, or is there just like the standard one active line right now?
um, it's pretty much just the standard. I mean, there's like I'm experimenting on each one, so I just made completed one for my dad that we decided we'd go 8'6" on the floats instead of just 8 foot. Um, but you like I can do just small tweaks, but for the main part, it's standard. But I would say that like the different tracks you put on there, that can easily be customized at the time of the order, and what like what trolling motor mounts you want to have on it and that sort of thing.
Right.
Um,
This
but
is a pretty slick deal. The picture I'm showing right now is your stand-up paddle that you have there, but can also turn around and double as a power pole, basically a stick, a stick anchor there,
yeah, that was
shallow water anchor. Yeah.
that was an experiment. Dad wanted me to make one for him, and I had seen a couple carbon fiber ones actually at the supplier. I got my carbon fiber one,
Right.
or all my fabric from.
Right.
they had one on the wall. And I'm like, you know what? I could modify that a little bit. And so far, we haven't got to use it a whole lot. And I think we might need to get a little better bracket because it was, as far as actual staking it down,
Right.
because as it was kind of pinching and popping back up again. But
Gotcha.
I definitely like the concept.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So talk me through this, man. You're 20 years old. Is that correct?
In like 3 days, yeah.
Nice. Happy early birthday.
Yeah, thank you.
So have you always had this kind of mind of, you know what, if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna go all in and let's just see how far we can run with this thing? Or is this something that developed late in your teen years here, type thing?
I've always been a tinker, like tinkering on stuff, want to just experiment making things. Um, but this is the first one where I really kind of put the effort into like more complete it to like a certain level, and then it's like I don't know, since the first one was built, I kind of thought, you know what, I think, I just kind of got hooked on it. But
Right. Well, and you know what? Kudos to Dad for cultivating this type of creativity in his son, because that's awesome stuff, man. Where he kind of sets the bar, then goes, I wonder, see what you can do with this, and bang, off you go, man. That's
yep.
awesome stuff. I love hearing about those stories and just seeing it, firsthand, man. So kudos to you. And that's I told you this when I met you. It's impressive stuff. It makes you give me hope for the next generation out there.
Yeah, thanks.
But so all right, so let's talk to the brass tacks here. So if I'm just old Gene out here in Colorado and I want me a Bassraft, um, talk to me. What's a standard Bassraft deal that you currently sell? What's that retail for right now?
58.95.
Okay.
Without the electronics.
Now is that
And
with a
there's
motor or without a
no
motor?
without motor.
Okay.
And there's certain motor options. We've tried everything from just a standard cable drive foot pedal, like a hand tiller, XI3, and then we just got a Garmin Kraken with a shaft cut down on the most recent one. And I think for just optimized fishing, as long as you're not going to be on super big water, the XI3 is probably your best for the money
Right.
that we've
Right.
tried. But there's certain features that are really nice about the Garmin. It's got built-in nose cone transducer with a side scan,
Yep.
and you can have that if you want the live, you can have that cable routed through the shaft, and it's a brushless motor. But the downsides is it's bigger, heavier, and has to be 24 or 36 volt.
Right.
But then you can get like on 36 volt, we were able to get 6.2 miles an hour. So
Wow.
you could it basically gets on plane and just gets going, which it looks kind of funny out there, but
You out there running on the plug in your Bassraft, huh? So
but
the top of the floats, they're open. There's no doors or anything on that. Is that
mhm.
correct? It's just wide open.
Yeah, that is correct. That's one of the
So
next projects is definitely going to be making a cover so you can cover those. But
so when water gets in there, does it just stay in there like a kayak hull, or is there drainage there that it can get out?
it stays in
Okay. So like
until
a
you like,
kayak hull right now.
yeah, but it's got drains for like on shore that you can just tip it out and it'll all drain out when you get there. But
Very cool.
um, but that's why I definitely need to work on the covers for those hatches. I just gotta get some nice hardware because like it's gotta be heavy duty enough, but not hopefully not terribly heavy and easy to work with. And I just
Right.
one of the next research projects. But
It's never ending, is it, man?
yeah, yeah. I mean, you just keep tinkering with it, especially as we're using it, we realize, okay, this is not so much, or this features great, and it's just I've been liking fishing the All-American, just kind of putting it to the test.
I was going to say I wanted to transition into that here. So you chose you and I were talking off air on this, and I'll say this because I love the anglers of the All American, but you chose a great series to test it because it's going to take you all around the Midwest, so you get to see all different types of bodies of water. But you also chose, the All American, which has just absolute flat out deadly hooks in it. I mean, these guys, they take your money, they take your goodies with a smile afterwards, but they'll do it gladly with very little problem. But you were just at Kentucky Lake, man. That's one of the bigger bodies of water that we've gone to. I saw you at Lake of the Ozarks. That's also pretty big. How has that experience been with going around to these different bodies of water like Truman at the Classic and just all these other deals here? Talk us through some of the stuff you've seen, just start at the beginning of the season up till Kentucky Lake here.
Yeah, so Ozarks was definitely my first experience on a really truly big lake. And that was I enjoyed it. There was a little bit tight on ramps for good kayak access. Like, there's no way I was going to PB2.
No.
But I did find some fish. It was a different experience as far as fish goes. I'm being from up north. Fish is different. I'd fished one other Ozark lake previously, but I'm still trying to get the hang of lakes without weeds.
I was going to say, man,
No.
that's that in and of itself, take it from a guy who was living in Minnesota fishing the Ozark series. It's a total different ball game when it comes to,
Yeah.
like we said, finding those fish like you talked about earlier. But what's it been like from the Bassraft side of things? The launching, the tournament stuff, getting out.
The launching, it goes pretty slick. The one thing I would tend to go toward less congested ramps, just for the part of it's nice to not have to haul. It's you can't really haul it fully loaded. As far as I don't have wheels for mine, like a lot of the guys have the landing gear or whatever for their kayak. They can load it at the truck and then just wheel it down, or a trailer launch it. So less congested ramps were always the kind of little bit of must, because you don't want to be holding up the ramp as people waiting in line or things. But and the wind, it handled the wind pretty well at Ozarks. It was just kind of tough on us all. But
Yeah. For sure.
I would say without those hatch covers, even, like, I wasn't gonna cross the main lake, where if I had them, I wouldn't have got I would have personally got wet, but like I wouldn't have been taking on as much water. So that's and as far as it does pretty well. It does good in the waves, just not when you're motoring on high at the same
Right.
time. That's when you start really bouncing and getting that spray. And
Is that a weight thing you think right now? Is that what it is, that you're almost too light maybe?
I think it's length. Just because when you get a big roller and it hits the front, it's not long enough to kind of spread that out, so it
Yep.
really lifts and then falls and then lifts and falls. So that would say one of the bigger drawbacks of fishing main lakes.
Yep.
You just lower speeds for the most part I found to be fine. It's just if you want to, okay, let's motor on high across like a bigger pocket, it's like, well, you're going to be getting kind of wet. But
Sure. Well, I think
I was
Go
talking
ahead.
to some of the guys in kayaks, and they were like, they were saying they were getting soaked too. So it's not like,
Yeah.
so I don't have like fishing out of like some nice, really high end kayaks to compare it to. But I just coming from what I have.
It's important no matter what you're in to know your craft and know what its limits are, right? And
Mm-hmm.
there's people that fish out of 10-foot kayaks, there's people that fish out of 14-foot kayaks. And
Yeah.
each one of those is going to handle certain types of water and environment differently. And it's up to you as the angler to know. If you're in a bass raft, obviously you're with that craft because you want to stand up. You want to do more of that. You want to, I could say, I could see that, especially when you're sight fishing. Good night. What a great opportunity you have there. Because you see all of us in our yaks standing up, during the spawn, so you can actually see stuff. The bass raft is that craft for you. That's what it's doing there. So, yeah, I mean, there's no one craft that handles everything, right?
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
it's it's wise to know. So there's no problem with that whatsoever.
Hmm.
And Lake of the Ozarks, bro, that's big water's big water, dude. I don't care what you're in. I had a
Yeah.
21-foot bass boat, and I'm doing 20, 25 mile an hour through those 4 or 5 foot rollers there, just to keep the bow up so I'm not tearing my gear apart. So yeah, Lake of the Ozarks can get real in a hurry there. So stick to the
Yeah.
pockets.
But and then Okoboji, I had a blast at just because I mean the quality of fish there's really like they're really just healthy, sizable fish, and like I, it was like normal tournament day. It's they're kind of get that pressure going fairly early, but I still put up a limit by the end of the tournament and made a couple calls that were so I felt good about that because I'm kind of new to the Tourney X stuff, and it's like it all it all went pretty smooth, not too many errors or problems, but
That's awesome.
Okaboji Okaboji was just a blast. I mean, even though I got a limit, like everyone had limits like way down the list, so it's like I didn't fish in the top because I didn't go for smallmouth because even though I'm from up north, it's a tricky business to go for those smallmouth, and I'm like,
Yeah, it is.
I just better play it on the more conservative side where I know I can catch some largemouth. But
Well, dude, it's you got two things in play. We talked about this off air. One, you're taking your new vessel around and you're trying it in all these different bodies of water. Then two, you're also fishing a semi-national, tournament series here against, some top anglers out there. So you've got both of those things in play. You're a better man than I, Mr. Bassraft. I'll tell you that because I've learned this year that nope, I can work it or I can fish it. I can't work and fish it. I'm just
yeah,
my brain doesn't function that well. So this is kudos to you for really putting it through the ropes like that with them. Kentucky had to be something, man, because that was a lot of water in play. Where did you end up staying? Up by Moore's Resort, or were you further out?
so we were at the Wranglers, which was more up toward the Tennessee side on the LBL um, area, one of the campgrounds. So, and then I just booked it ahead of time because I saw they had one of the cabins available, and then come to find out we wanted to fish the north end of the lake, so we were driving like 40 minutes to ramps every morning. But um, I
It
don't know,
happens.
we just were like we just kind of like the cleaner water just a little bit. Seem to be getting better bites down there. Um, but it was a really beautiful lake. The weather was beautiful for swimming.
Right? Super hot out there.
Yeah, it was.
Super hot.
Yeah, with those 90s, it was. Yeah, going through a lot of water and just trying not to get sunburned and.
Well,
But
stick around for the second half of the show because the guy we're going to be bringing in on the second half here, he'll tell us all about what it's like fishing in hot weather
oh,
out there.
I can't imagine.
Those guys know how to protect themselves and take care of themselves, so that'll
Yeah.
be good. And I see he is Mr. Sensano is in our green room right now, so we'll be getting to that. To wrap this up here, Joey, let's talk what's on the docket. So Bass Raft is a definitely is a project kind of in the works still. You've
Mhm.
got iterations, you've got a functional working craft right now. I've seen you use it. I've seen it online. It's a badass little craft you got going there. What do you have, like, say, for the next 6 months, maybe a year out? What, besides the doors on the hatches on the top, what are some other ideas and things you guys are looking at to maybe expand on for the next version?
Um, a lot of people have been asking for a seat. Um, so just right now we're just saying, if you want, like, my dad's got a hard tackle box he puts on the back of his to kind of sit on, just strap it down so it's secure. Um, but I'm gonna probably be looking into something I can do. It's more like a lighter weight, maybe carbon fiber version of like a pedestal seat, or kind of hybrid, maybe between like the mesh kayak seats, because something comfortable, but it's still got to be lightweight because you're gonna be putting it on and off every time.
What
Like those,
on the
um,
front end of bass boats, the bump seats. What about something like that where
yeah.
most of the time you can just like lean up against it and just rest your
Hmm.
booty cheeks on it just barely, but you're still, under power of leg. What about something like that?
Yeah, that would be definitely something I'd be thinking about, just because, especially like Okoboji, or not Okoboji, Kentucky Lake had a lot of wreck boater traffic, and it's just having that extra brace if you're going to do anything offshore is
Yep.
almost a must. Like my legs were so tired after Saturday. I was like,
And you're a young
but
strapping buck.
yeah,
Imagine those old fat guys out there. We're not
um,
gonna last as long.
yeah. So that's one. Let's see, I had that. I think that's the main one, and then it's just technique wise as far as the manufacturing goes, because I think I will be able to still make them lighter. The more I get better at it, like the less like the extra epoxy I have to use basically on that gel coat to get that smooth surface. Um,
Very cool.
is that's kind of the main thing, and then just as a side note, we are starting up a video series on Wisconsin small lakes. Just trying to highlight one on our YouTube channel. We'll try to be getting that episode out every other week of a new small lake, and we'll just say basically we got a day on the raft, and here's the fish we caught. Here's what we thought of the lake, and
That's awesome.
just because like there's so many of them, and it's like,
Yeah.
if we're already fishing them, we may as well let everyone else know which ones we had good days on.
Sure.
Because I mean, we might keep a couple of them private, but you never know.
I was going to say, you got to be a true angler if you're not, going to give all away. Folks at
Yeah.
home, if you're watching this live or if you're watching it recorded, go check them out. On Facebook, it's just Bassraft, at Bassraft. On Instagram, you'll find them at The Bassraft. Also, their website, you can hit them out at bassraft.com, and at YouTube at Bassraft. I'm seeing a pattern here across. Very easy stuff, man. That's as another tip here, look into other manufacturing places. I'll bet you places that manufacture maybe light components or different things. I bet you a lot of times they for a chance just to go and kind of see their process, like you were talking about being able to use a little less epoxy here and there. Talk to other people. People love to share their craft and love to, especially if you boost their ego up, going, "Hey, you guys are the best ever," at this. Mind showing just little old me some of this stuff, and next thing you know, you'll be taking processes from all these other markets type thing and be able to apply it forward. That could be
Yeah.
a good little help there.
Yeah.
Well, listen, brother, I appreciate you stopping by. You got, are you next on the list? Are you going to La Crosse? Going to be hitting the rest of the All American events with this, Minocqua, and
For sure the two Wisconsin ones, and hopefully I'll be in the top 25 AOY to get to the championship.
well,
And
remember it's open. Top 25 though, you get in free.
Yep. And we'll see about Awachita. That's definitely the farthest drive for us. But my Justin's older brother lives down there, and
Oh,
so he might be able to give me a little bit of information on that, which could help. So I'll be trying to definitely make them all, but we'll just see.
yeah. Got to watch the budget, man, for sure. We understand that, but well, cool. So Minocqua's up next for the All American Kayak Series, and then La Crosse. I'll be at La Crosse. I won't be at Minocqua. Josh is going to be up at Minocqua. That should be a ton of fun. We're partnering with Great Lakes Kayak Fishing Series for that, and La Crosse as well. So the La Crosse one is the one I'm really looking forward to. I miss that place. I love fishing there. Lots of fun. It'll be fun watching you out on the bass raft and that stuff, man. Get you back in that frog country where you don't have to worry about too much. That's where you're going to want that paddle shallow anchor deal for
Yeah.
sure. Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
listen, buddy, thank you so much. We're going to go ahead and move on to our second guest here. I'll be looking for you out there. Folks, like I said, make sure to check him out, bassraft.com. Check it out there if you want some information, or find him on Facebook at Bassraft, or on Instagram at The Bassraft. Hit Joey up, and if you got questions, I'm sure he'll be glad to answer them.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on.
You bet, brother. You take care, and we'll be seeing you at the next one.
Yep. See ya.
All right. So now we're going to move on to the second half of the show here. This guy's been waiting patiently here. I see him in the wings here. Our brothers from out in the desert here, Southern Nevada, fellow kayak anglers. Let's go ahead and bring him in. I'm gonna say it again, and hopefully I'm pronouncing it right. June Sensano.
Yeah, that's right.
Sweet. Okay.
Yeah, right.
How's it going, man? Good to
Awesome,
finally
man.
meet you.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. It's a pleasure to be on your show.
You bet. You bet. So the connection here to make life real easy and short was AJ.
Yes.
That was the deal. You know,
He was the man who started it all.
that's
right
so
here in
awesome.
Nevada.
So yeah, so I've got. Let's bring this up here real quick. See if I can remember what I'm doing here. We're gonna share this. Southern Nevada kayak anglers. Let's put this up here. Yeah, man. So you guys are down here in Southern Nevada. People, I'm not going to lie. People are not normally going to think of. That's awesome, David. Going to fish off of that. People don't normally think bass when they think Southern Nevada down there, but you boys are finding them.
Yeah, well, Lake Mead, we have the biggest man-made reservoir in the United States.
That's true. Yep.
It is huge. We have a great fishery. We got striped bass, we got largemouth, smallmouth, whole bunch of panfish. It's just ridiculous. Catfish, whatever you want, it's out there.
That is a big body of water for kayaks, but I take it, are there lots of fingers and such? Is that
yes.
what?
Yeah, there is all different types. I mean, you think of a highland reservoir, but it also has parts of lowland reservoirs where we have huge flats. It goes on for miles on the northern part of the lake. And then we have our deep ends near the dam, which, wow, I think it goes down to 400, maybe 600 feet deep.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's serious highland reservoirs. We've got the little brothers to that out here in Colorado, man. All of our stuff's all man-made as well. So do you guys have the occasional funny little lake that actually has vegetation in it, or is vegetation just not happening?
Well, we had vegetation a few years ago with the drought. When the water receded, it was going down, all the trees and the cottonwood trees and the brush and the sage started growing where the water used to be. Well, lately the water's gone up a lot. And now all that vegetation created a whole bunch of new habitat for our fisheries. So the baby bass, the baby stripers, they have a place to hide now. They don't have to hide under little rocks or little boulders. There's a whole lot of vegetation. And yeah, it's just an awesome fishery. I work with Nevada Department of Wildlife as a volunteer, and then we go out on surveys, and I can see, with my own eyes for a fact that, wow, this fishery is growing. It's going to be awesome in a few more years.
That is so cool. We have a similar thing happening on a few of our reservoirs here where they decided to flood. They picked up the levels, and their decision is to keep it this high now. And one of them, man, we've got trees, we got timber in play now.
Nice.
that is flooded, and we're all sitting here going, oh my gosh, in about 3 to 5 years, oh my goodness, this could be a ton of fun.
It's gonna be fun. Bet.
It's good to see. So talk to us, Southern Nevada kayak anglers. Where did the group, I guess, when did it start? Where did it come from?
It started in 2021 with AJ Gallardo, which is our original guy who created it. He wanted to bring tournament fishing to Nevada, to Las Vegas. And, for the last 3 years, he's done an awesome job. We've done tournaments outside, out of the state, from Utah, California, Arizona.
Wow.
We do our own tournaments here, even though we have this huge lake, but we're still starting up. We're still a growing group, a growing community. And I think we have right now about 1,500 anglers on our Facebook page.
Yep.
And every day is just growing crazy. I mean, we have classes from everything from Tourney-X classes for beginners if they want to learn and get into the tournament kayak part of it. Or we also do recreational part, which majority of our anglers are recreational anglers. They just go out with their paddle kayaks and they go fish the harbor. And it's fun. We love our community. We love the city.
I can tell you after, talking with AJ and watching you guys, because that's what plugged me in here. And it's your club is like many of the other little clubs in the surrounding states. It becomes a very close-knit family, man. You build. Sure, you're there to take each other's money. You want to definitely beat each other, in the tournament. You want to rub it in, but there's still your brothers and your sisters out there that you do anything for, and it's just such a cool thing to watch.
Oh yeah, I love these guys. These guys so generous, and like we don't make any much money out of anything. We just go out for fun.
Oh,
and
nice.
The experience, and it's just the camaraderie. It's like being back in the service is what I miss. Is just hanging out with all the guys and telling old stories and talking about the guys. Sheesh, I'm also with Heroes on the Water. And
we have a lot in common there, my friend.
Yes, we do. I'm new to it. I'm still learning a whole lot of it. I hope I can bring a whole lot of new stuff to Heroes in the Water, and I'm really looking forward to it.
So I'm a crappy journalist, all right? I'm not a journalist. Let's just get that out there. I am a learning old fart who's trying to figure things out. But if I just picked up on something correctly, are you a United States veteran, June?
Yes, I am. I'm retired U.S. Army.
Holy crap. First and foremost, thank you for your service. We sincerely appreciate that, you and your family.
Thank you for your support, Gene. We really appreciate, all you guys' support. It helps a lot, really.
100%. Let's talk real quick about Heroes on the Water, brother. That's because,
awesome.
So now I'm part of the therapeutic division. I work only up from the therapy. I'm not a normal chapter. I just do stuff just with the Denver VA.
Okay.
That's what we do, our programs there. And turns out several other VAs in the surrounding area have gotten word of this, and now it looks like we're starting to pick up steam really, really fast. To the point where they're actually bringing me more kayaks. 10 isn't enough. And I'm like, holy Moses, good thing you got me a bigger trailer, because I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get these. But so now you are working from a Heroes on the Water actual chapter, a volunteer chapter, right?
Yeah. I am actually their treasurer.
Nice.
I joined about a year ago. Cesar Garcia and Priscilla are the two main individuals that take care of Heroes on the Water here in Vegas.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I like to do the advertising part of it because I like to meet people and I like to share what I've experienced. I'm very passionate with, kayak angling, and I've seen the therapeutic part of it, being a veteran with PTSD and how calming it can be out there, and just sharing with other veterans. And it is kind of hard for them to believe it. Kayak fishing is not that therapeutic. It is until you get out there. That's why I'm still here. But oh man, what an experience it's been so far. Just
I bet.
Love the community, love our veterans out here. Do anything for them. I mean, we have a whole bunch of new stuff I've set up for the whole year. Even in the hot summer months here in Vegas, we get up super early. Vets should mind because they're used to getting up early anyway, right? But yeah, super early before the sun gets up and it gets hot. It gets about sometimes 120 out here, depending where you're at.
Good night.
Yeah, it can be brutal. But, it's like going back to deployment, right? Hanging out, having all that gear on again, right?
Right. I was going to say, I saw a great meme the other day. It's like, just think, no matter how hot it gets here, it's still not as hot as 45 pounds of gear on your back humping through the desert. So so put it in perspective. We're doing all right.
Yeah, and you can always just tip the kayak over and go for a quick dip, right?
For sure.
Oh yeah.
So that's how long have you been with How? How long have you been with those guys?
A little less than a year. I just
nice.
started, but when I take things on, I start running instead of walking. That's my problem. But I guess that's what the military taught you,
I think it's kind of born in at that point. It gets drilled in. You can't do anything part of the way. You got to go 100% all in.
Yeah, but and it's good. I mean, even Cesar Garcia, who's the main guy for us here, he's prior Marine Corps, and we know how the veterans think. So we go out, it's like give them something to do, like they feel like they're involved in something. You guys want to help with the kayaks, you guys want to help with rigging the gear. You can see it on their face. They got something to do. They're happy to do something with fellow vets. They're happy to talk their stories. Something takes a while for them to crack their shell, but when you do, it's just amazing.
Well, like you said, man, when you guys are in, there's a tribal connection you all have. You know what I mean? It's that only people that have been in the service can understand what that connection's like. When you get into the civilian world, that in most cases, 90% of the time, that's gone. Civilian life, civilians, we're idiots, and we're out here, with our own blinders on, running around doing our own thing, not thinking about, the people next to us. So these events like this that Hal creates, the True Patriot Outfitters, the events we do, bonding and that connection piece is so, so vital, man. That's, in my opinion, that's where the healing truly starts to begin.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And then add the water and kayak fishing to that. There's that complementary piece we're talking about. That's when you see things amplify, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Where that healing starts, like you said, it goes with the rest of the family, which we also take care of. Families are invited.
That's awesome.
And the healing part goes down to the family, and the families will see what's happening to their loved ones, to their spouses, and they'll see the healing, and they get to see what we're doing.
Yeah, and that is. So how long have you been doing kayak fishing? Specifically. Has it been 2021? Did you jump in right when the club came about, or when did you get in?
I jumped in right when the club came about. I started in I think it was a little before 2020 in San Diego, California. And then it was all saltwater fishing.
Nice.
And then, I loved it. Just didn't like the waves. And
right.
We moved to Vegas here, and then I figured there's nothing here. What can I do? I can't fish. I was just angry coming to Vegas because I was going over the ocean, and we got here, and I was like, darn, I sold all my gear. and then I saw some of the kayak anglers and said, hey, this would be fun. Maybe I'll try it out. And you know what? Wow, yeah, what a few years it has been. I mean, healing, therapeutic, just getting out there and going out and hanging out with your friends, even going out with yourself. Oh my gosh, you can't imagine how awesome that is. Even just being by yourself and just thinking, and wow.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man. And that it truly is. It's part of what has helped kayak fishing become one of the fastest growing pieces in sport fishing right now, right? It's
so addicting.
Yeah. Once you get out there and you got the craft. So talk to me about Southern Nevada waters, man. We know about the big lakes, but now do you guys have some smaller bodies of water that a little bit easier to get on and off of, or is most of it, the Highland Reservoir type, larger stuff that you're playing with?
The majority is going to be Lake Mead, of course. And then we have the Colorado River system.
Nice.
Arizona goes from Arizona, Utah, I believe, comes through us to Lake Mead, and then all the way down to California. So we got that whole river system where we catch, giant, oh my gosh, 41-pound stripers. My buddy Earl just caught one not too long ago. Or was it Herman? 41-pound striper, striped bass. Ridiculous size for a river. But wow, we got giants out here. Cottonwood Cove, that's another part of the river system. And, some of us get bored. So we go outside. We go Utah, San Hollow. We go Lake Powell or Havasu in Arizona. El Capitan in California.
Nice.
We're like right in the center. So we're, and all the other guys outside say, like, why are you coming to our lake when you got that huge lake out there?
Now, what's the average drive to go in there? Can you get to this stuff in like 4 to 5 hours, or is it shorter?
The average drive to Lake Mead, the harbor, Hemingway Harbor, is about 45 minutes. But I live on the far side of Vegas, so most of the guys live closer, like mid Las Vegas, are easy. I'm the far west side. I'm just the farthest one out there. But it's 45 minutes for me. We go San Hollow, it's 2 hours. We go California, it's about 3.5.
Oh, wow. You really are super close to just about everything.
Yeah. And even Northern Nevada got so many lakes and ponds. There's Eagle Valley, which we just came from an Endow event for the kids, teaching them how to fish. There's Echo Canyon. There's Perch. So many fun stuff up there too. Smaller lakes, smaller reservoirs.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's still fishing. It's still fun, and it's still very awesome to go out.
Dude, we're with with fishing with the Colorado Kayak Bassmasters. We just got done with an event that's about 3.5 hours for us, still in the state, but it was down at Trinidad, so it was way down, right on the border of New Mexico, Colorado. And yeah, we're no stranger. Me, when I was fishing the All American stuff,
Uh-huh.
that's 12 to 16 hours every event. So it's
Ooh.
like the driving becomes just second nature. That is
It's a
so cool
marathon.
that you guys are that centrally located to all the different types of. You can get into all different types of ecosystems in there as well. That's got to be
Oh,
kind of
yes.
cool.
Yeah, I'm afraid that's the part that's kind of tough here is every time you move to a different body of water, you always have to adjust to what you got. Sometimes it's like
Right.
vegetation, something just high desert or rocks. And it's always planning ahead, planning accordingly to where you're going.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I suffered this last beating I just took, kind of really got it into my head. I'm going to create just a Colorado bag and selection of rods, because if it's not finesse, you're not going to take these guys down. Are you guys kind of similar out there where it's, you got to really get in on the finesse side?
Yes, for sure. We do our research. We do our research. We make sure, like, if we're going to do a tournament down in Arizona, for instance, we know those guys. They know their waters. So we got to figure out, okay, where are they fishing? What are they using? And we'll look at their videos and see what they're using and see how it is.
Sure.
Is it a frog day? Is it top water? Is it drop shot? What are you using? But we just bring everything most of the time.
Is it a lot of clear water that you have out there?
Yes, it is. Yeah, Lake Mead. Oh my gosh, Lake Mead, Colorado River system has probably some of the most clearest water. It's actually, I took a client out, not a client, but I took a veteran out not too long ago, and he was actually scared of heights. But seeing the water was so clear, looking down 50 feet, he was hugging the rails on that kayak because he was afraid he was going to fall. That's how clear it was. It looked like he was on the edge of a building looking down.
Oh my gosh.
That's how clear that thing water. Oh, it was beautiful.
It is beautiful, but it's like the worst conditions to hunt bass in.
I know.
That makes it so tough to get those, especially, is it smallies mainly, or do you guys have a good population of large?
It's a variety. I mean, some parts will have smallies, some parts will have largies. The Colorado River has a lot of smallies, huge monster smallies. That's why every time we have tournaments or the monthlies, everyone goes there because they want the big ones. They want the inches. Because as you know, we don't weigh them. We do CPR. Yep. So we do them by length, and just huge monsters. 18, 23 inches.
Wow.
Yeah.
23-inch smallmouth.
Yes, it's ridiculous. And I think Colorado River has the hardest fighting fish for smallies out there.
What's the current like in the good fishing areas? Is it pretty stout, or is it you got some slack water that you can get in there and fish?
It depends again, like where you go. Since it's such a big river system, like where the dam is at Hoover Dam, they release water sometimes, and when they do that, the current starts to flow a little more.
Yep.
I mean, I think you're going like 4 knots current, so it gets pretty tough. But they do that most of the time at nighttime. But you'll know when the current starts coming when you hear the water start flowing downstream or upstream, and then the tide starts going up, and you're like, wow, I think they're releasing water from the dam. I'm like, you go down more, about 20 miles more down toward Mojave, and it's just super calm.
Oh wow.
No current, yeah, and it's just gorgeous. And I never thought I'd get used to desert water, ponds and lakes and reservoirs. I was always an island boy, little tiny island, 36 miles long, 5 miles wide. So,
right?
Yeah.
So I got to tell you, June, I am not I don't like dry, no vegetation climate, but you're making it sound like a place I gotta get to, at least go experience it at least once, right? And get out there and fish, especially an idea of getting in that Colorado River, man, and doing some work. That sounds like a heck of it. So you're based right out of the Vegas area, is that right?
Yes, I am.
Yep. And that's kind of the home base for Southern Nevada kayak anglers?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. But we have anglers from all over up north as well.
So either northern anglers are a part of the southern Nevada. Is there a northern Nevada Kayak Anglers Club? Or
No,
is it...
not that I know of. I know they join us because we do a lot of crafts and activities, and we put out a lot of information. We're not one
That's
of those
cool.
clubs that this is my secret spot. I'm not telling you where I'm using
Right,
the color
right.
worm I got. No, we're pretty open with all that good stuff, and we're fortunate to have a lot of anglers that if someone posts something up like, "Hey, I need help with this trolling motor," or "Why am I not getting lights on?" or what's a good kayak? We get anglers out there that'll just go out of their way and help the poor guy out. And
That's awesome.
I love that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, so the other question I had for you now, does Nevada have a bass club officially from Bass? One where you guys can fish it to qualify for the Bass National Championship. Do you guys have one of those?
Not for that. We have it for West Coast Championship.
The West Coast
So
side.
we qualify top 25%, or if you fish 3 of the qualifying events. We don't have that yet. It's in the works. I just got into the TD part, so I'm still learning a whole lot. There's a whole lot I'm learning.
Oh, man.
Whole lot. Oh, it's ridiculous. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I'm learning. Hopefully we're going to get into that. We're going to get a little bigger. And yeah, future's looking good for us.
That's awesome, man. That is super cool. We're very fortunate here in Colorado to have the 2 clubs we have, 2 really strong, solid clubs that kind of, really focus in a little bit different areas. One is more the whole sport itself and holistic to a degree. It's the big club. It's the old club that's been around for the longest. And then for the few anglers that are really serious about competition, that you want to up your game, you don't mind driving a few hours to get because we'll go out of state with that club. We'll go to Nebraska or different places. There we have the Colorado Kayak Bassmasters for that. So we're real fortunate to have the options. Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's what I was curious if there were any thoughts about Southern Nevada becoming a Bassmaster affiliate, and hooking up.
It's definitely in my notes. I'd like to get with some of the clubs out there and mirror what they're doing, and just see what they're doing and how they do it, just so that we can get into it and, join the fun.
And who knows, maybe making a separate club that is just the Bassmasters that way Southern Nevada can maintain its bylaws and stay doing. I'll tell you, a guy that's got a lot of experience, he's very humble about it, but he's a guy that I call a personal friend of mine. He runs the CKB here, James Strawbridge. If you ever need his name, I'll reach out. He would be glad to share what info he has, picked up, how he started the CKB. Another great source, our brothers down south there in New Mexico, Matt Ramey. Matt is he's an OG of the deal, and those are good guys. If you're ever interested in getting info, man, those guys.
Oh, definitely for sure.
So we got some great comments coming in here. Get down here in April and fish the spawn of Mojave for giant smallies. Sounds like an awesome deal.
Oh yeah, in clear water.
That would be amazing. Yeah, we have
super clear water. Oh yeah.
Irvin Johnson coming in clearest water he's ever seen. And here comes our brother jumping in here. What up, June? Good to see you too.
AJ. Hey, AJ.
Thank you so much for chiming and watching the show, man. We love you, man. And if the future ever holds Battleborn returning, we are there lockstep. So let us know what we can do to help out with that. Well, this is awesome, man. I'm excited to learn more about what I guess I'll throw this over to you. Tell us just what information do you want people in Southern Nevada or in around to know about the Nevada Kayak Anglers Club? What would how does somebody go about getting in touch and joining up and partaking in some of this cool stuff, or finding out what events you guys are doing?
Oh yeah, simple. Just go to Facebook. We have a Facebook page, Southern Nevada Kayak Anglers. There we have everything there. We have our files on the file page. We have all our rules and membership forms, and we have our events page. And with that said, with events page, we have a whole bunch of events lined up. We have everything from our main one-day live tournaments. We have our monthly tournaments, and just little monthly tournaments. You don't need a membership. You just sign up and on Tourney X and you go fish, right? We also have outside tournaments, outside events with Nevada Department of Wildlife and Heroes on the Water, where we take anglers out. If you want to learn how to tourney fish, we teach you that. on a board. We don't pay for nothing. We supply everything, kayaks, gear, whatever you need. And yeah, and we always have anglers out there that's always willing to do open invites. We take new anglers out, go fishing, teach them a little something, learn the area. And yeah, Southern Nevada Kayak Anglers page is the place to start off.
That is awesome, man. So
Yeah.
Facebook's a great place, and just kind of message through there to check out. And yeah, that's one of the cool things I want to share this with you here that we were very proud of. When you get involved doing podcasts and stuff, we've been doing this 3.5, almost 4 years now, and one of the things that we all always put on our list of success is how many followers we get, right? How many subscribers. We think this is the measure of success. Well, I can tell you, 1.5, 2 years ago, I started to unplug and disconnect from that because, quite frankly, we were more concerned with content as opposed to how many people.
Mm-hmm.
And this came from my understanding in the nonprofit world of providing veteran support, that I truly do believe this, and I live and breathe this. My very good friend and a guy I almost consider a brother of mine, Brian Romans, United States Marine, retired. He and I have said this time and time again, if we have to do it one at a time, then by God, that's exactly what we'll do, is one at a time. And that's kind of the way I started to approach the social media. But I got to tell you, when AJ and I connected and they came on as the official sponsor of our podcast, when I saw the metrics of Southern Nevada all of a sudden start popping up on my metrics, the Nevada folks watching the channel, dude, that brought such a cool smile, because that was a dark zone for me in my heat map, looking at across to where people were. I had nothing from there, and all of a sudden, bang, we started getting these hits coming out of Southern Nevada there, and I'm like, look at that. I don't care how many it is. The fact is, we're reaching out, man. We're across the Midwest. We're on the East Coast. Now we're into, almost in there. And apparently we're a real big deal in Italy on YouTube. I don't know. I don't even speak Italian, but apparently they like our stuff. So. But yeah, man, that was so cool. So to all the anglers out there in Southern Nevada, we much love to all you guys for tuning into our little show and watching the stuff and supporting our mission, and just at the very least the likes and subscribes, man. That's a huge deal. I want to make this a normal thing, man. I talked to Matt Ramey last week about this. I want to do the same with you. I want to make this normal where we check in, every couple months here, or if you got a big event coming up, you just hit me up and go, hey man, got this coming up. Can we get on the show? And yes, we'll figure out a way to get you in there. And that way we can help promote, spread the message out there, talk about the club, talk about your Heroes on the Water work, whatever we can do to help you, brother. We got you.
Awesome. Thank you. Love that. Yeah.
You bet. And when it comes time to get out there, I might be bringing a couple guys with me, but I'm going to be hitting you up going, all right, where's a safe place to stay? And then let's go get some smallies. Some of them 23 inches you're talking about. Let's go find them.
I got you covered, Gene. I got you covered. Me and the guys here. Don't worry.
That is all. And that, that could make for some good entertaining video, I'm sure. I'm sure we could go live from the podcast right out there. That would be super cool.
Oh, yeah. You're going to get all of a sudden a whole bunch of visitors coming to Lake Mojave catching smallies.
Heck yeah. A bunch of Colorado license plates is what you're going to get.
I bet.
Let me double check in here real quick. What do we got going here? Here we go. Here's the man himself, Mr. James Strawbridge. Smallies.
Nice.
We can drop shot. Yes, we can drop shot, Mr. Strawbridge, old Jimmy Straws.
Yes, you can.
For sure. And yes, James, I gave June your name. He may reach out to you one day to just get some info on bass and all that good stuff. So, and Ramey, if you're watching, buddy, I'm handing out your name too. I'm dealing out names left and right here without even asking permission.
I'm taking notes. I'm still learning. Like I said, I'm still learning. I got a lot of stuff to learn all about this, but I'm taking everything in.
For sure, man. So I want to give you a chance to talk. Are there any sponsors? I mean, we never do this stuff alone, right? So are there any special entities out there, companies, organizations, people that you wanted to give a shout out to or anything like that on the show tonight?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. Awesome. Yeah. we don't go looking out for sponsors. Our sponsors come to us, which is so awesome. We love these guys because they're also kayak anglers as well. But, no sweat air conditioning up in Henderson. And then we have Jacobson Steel, which makes our awesome awards for AOI and our first, second, and third place winners for our tournaments. They do an awesome job with the awards, all steel. We got Ochatai, which is run by one of our anglers, Bundit here, and he gives us his spot for his restaurant. So we have our little get-togethers there. And
oh, nice.
Oh yeah, it's so awesome. Free food, right? And and he also helps donate with the permit fees.
Very cool.
We got some great sponsors also donate a whole bunch of stuff like Tony Garcia lures. We have Richard who Get Out and Fish USA creates a whole bunch of plastics which we pass out to the tournaments for each of the guys to try it and see how they like it. It's like free bait. Go to a tournament, get some free lures. Who else am I missing? Oh my gosh, I don't want to miss anybody. We had Battleborn Tackle, which was nice. AJ.
Yep.
Great store. We loved them. And I know I'm missing a few. Oh darn!
It happens when you turn
to blank out.
That's okay.
They're a realty group. They gave us a whole bunch of catchboards and life jackets.
Nice. So I'll let you think in the background here. I wanted to ask you a couple things real quick. Permits. So I'm just going to be straightforward and honest, and I'm going to be very un-PC right now.
Okay.
Colorado is Eastern California, which means they love to tax. And the permit process is absurd in this state now. It's like a 24-page application to host just a simplistic, up in Larimer County there. It was ridiculous.
Wow.
Absolutely no cause for it, and it's ridiculous. But my question is, how is Nevada in comparison? Is it somewhere in the middle? Is it pretty easy? Because, dude, there's other places, like if you hold a Roadrunner in Wisconsin, guess what? You don't even need a permit. They're like, good luck, go after it. And those are fisheries up there, man.
Okay. Well, first off, before I forget, I make this shout out to Boulder Bass and Tackle. They give us a whole bunch of lures for the year. I just remembered them.
See, I told you, as soon as I talk, you would start thinking in the back of your head. I told you.
Local knowledge, local hospitality, great guys up there.
That's awesome.
But for permits, we're fortunate. Our permit thing, we have a young lady named Desiree. She's awesome. It's only a 3-4 page letter, which we fill out. How many anglers, what day, that kind of stuff. And at the end, we just turn in our catch on a piece of paper. We caught how many's live, how many's dead, of course. And we pay our permit fee.
Nice.
Yeah, and Desiree's been awesome. She's oh my gosh, she's a miracle worker.
That is so cool. If there's ever
an issue, she'll call us right up and let me know. So, she makes my job a whole lot easiasier.
That is so cool, man.
We get permit fees, and then of course other places, like you said, are different. We do permit fees for Lake Havasu in Arizona. That's different.
Yep.
But it's been good so far. We're having all our tournaments here mostly.
That's cool, man. That's cool. Yeah, we've just seen our state kind of get goofy. Now you go to Nebraska, you go to Kansas. It's you fill out the applications. It's just a 1-page deal. You talk about you turn in your information as far as what you caught there. We make sure to pass on that we're following all AIS and so forth. And to me, if DNRs and CPWs, Parks and Wildlife and Natural Resource, if they're paying attention, dude, you need to befriend the kayak community, man. We are catch, photo, release. We are damn near leave no trace. And I don't know a single kayak angler that usually doesn't come back with something cleaned up from the water or the shore in the back of their kayak, because we have a vested interest in taking care of these waters, and we're at that level, right, June? I mean, we're right there. And so, we're the champions of PFDs around every corner out there. The kayak anglers are, talking to people.
True, honest sportsmen.
This is a group as a whole goes that is a good partner to have. Don't make it harder for us. Let's work together. You know what I mean? Yeah. Help me, Jerry. Help me. Help you.
Well, maybe
Well,
one of
awesome.
these days, y'all come down here, fish here. We'll have a little battle of the borders or whatnot.
Dude, I first want to come there and scout it. Yeah, I want to come down there and see some of these waters because just the experience alone, while I still am upright and on, keep waking up on the right side of the tulip roots, I figure I need to keep moving, and that sounds like a place that I didn't think I wanted to go, but now I do.
Oh yeah, yeah. I originally just started out as a bass fisherman until I got hooked. And yeah, yeah. Like I
All
said,
right,
yeah. Anyone can catch a striper, but it takes someone else to catch a bass.
right,
Yeah.
right, exactly. Bass, that's the fish men, not boys, men catch.
Well, don't get me wrong. Our striper fishery here is awesome as well. Oh my goodness, you ever seen oh my sheesh, a striper boil as big as like 3 tennis courts? It's ridiculous. Throw
Striper,
anything at it and you hook up.
striper and wiper are a ton of fun.
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
Mojave, you'll be pulling up like double digits, easy. A boil.
On Pueblo, I hit almost 11 pounder on Pueblo on a
That
jerk
is a good
bait
one.
on
Nice.
on a medium spin cast rod with like I think I had like a 10 pound leader on it for a jerk bait, and oh my gosh, the fight, it was a solid 6-7 minute fight to get him up. He broke my net. I mean, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, they will destroy everything. Your line, your leader, everything.
Yeah,
It's worse
for
than catching
sure.
catfish.
Well, listen, June, I can't thank you enough. And like I said, let's make this a regular thing where we catch in, where we check up on Southern Nevada. Make sure you guys are getting some love shown out there to you. Let's talk about the club events. If you want to do some result type stuff where you get guys go out and you have a banger of a tournament, and you want to get those guys on here to talk about how they went through it. We'd love to have that. Just
Oh,
let me
definitely
know
for sure.
and we'll figure it out for sure.
Oh yeah, love
To
to get the
all,
balls on. And
let me
gals.
see. June is a carp. Oh, Victor throwing shots fired. Shots fired.
Oh, okay, you're going down, Vic.
That's
Uh,
awesome. Well, listen again, brother. Thank you so much for coming by here. Thank you for your service. Thank you for the Heroes on the Water work, for everything you're doing out there, man. It's this is cool to get a chance to meet another kindred spirit out there and stay out of that 120-degree heat though. That's ridiculous. That's not fit for
oh,
man
trust me,
nor beast.
we freeze our water bottles when we go out. So by 9 o'clock hits, it's already all thawed out, and we're like just pouring whatever in to get nice some hydration.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, for sure. No, you got to get out at like 4 in the morning and get fishing. Yeah, because
We
like
do. We
nine or
do.
10, you're done.
We have our open invites for like 4 in the morning. Everyone's like 4 in the morning. Like, trust me, you're not going to get for it. By 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock, you're already dying. You want to go back to shore.
Right.
Yeah,
And but what springtime and fall time a little bit easier.
it is. It is. And then wintertime comes around December, November. They're complaining that it's cold.
You can fish 12 months a year though out there, right?
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
We just finished the
See.
pre-spawn, and now all the bass are going crazy on top water. You see a bunch of little fry hanging out of the corner. You just throw something on top, and boom, you get hit. They are so aggressive.
That is awesome. All right. You convinced me. I gotta get this on the calendar somehow. Good
Yeah.
stuff. All right, buddy. Well, thanks again, man. We appreciate you swinging by here, and I'm looking forward to the future of checking in with you guys and working with you.
Sounds great. Thank you for having me, Gene, and I really appreciate giving us some time to share our passion out here.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Like I said, those of us in the West, we got to stick together, man. That's the way I figure it, in the Western Midwest. That's kind of us.
This is the Western Coalition.
That's right. That's right. We're forming it right now.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Well, we'll check in on you in the future here, and we're looking forward to following you guys, as the season goes on.
Awesome. Sounds good, my friend. You take care.
You too. All right, folks, that's going to wrap us up here. 2 parts we got through there. Hopefully you got, some cool information out of this here. Go check them out. Southern Nevada kayak anglers here. It sounds like this is like other fantastic kayak, groups and clubs that we've been talking with around Colorado here. That's really been our desire, is to kind of reach out a state or two around us and just really start, making connections out there. And it sounds like these guys are of the same ilk, man. It's where you go, the kayak groups like that. They're a family. It's family oriented. The Southern Nevada, cause some of the cool stuff that they do as well, man. You follow along out there. They're doing classes and they're teaching kids to fish, and they're getting involved in a lot of different things. So it's a really really awesome group. And yeah, it's worth the follow there if you're an outdoorsman person, or if you're just involved in kayak fishing. Don't be sleeping on Southern Nevada kayak anglers. It's a good group to watch out there. Folks at home, if you were watching this thing live, I can't thank you enough, especially all of our brothers out and sisters out there in the desert. Thank you so very much for all the great comments here. We got Barry. Thank you very much, Barry. We appreciate you tuning in with us, brother. Much appreciated. And if you're watching this from a recording here, thank you very, very much. We appreciate you taking the time to check us out here. Joey Bassraft, he was the first up on here. Go check out those guys. It looks like a cool craft he's in the middle of working on. And anytime you got products built by great people, that's something to pay attention to and to watch there. And if you're in the market, man, you want to stand up and bass fish, go get you one of those bad boys and get yourself taken care of. Folks at home, best way you can support the TPO, mash that subscribe button. That's the biggest deal for us right now. We are in striking range of that 1,000 subscriber view there. That's our push. That's where we're aiming for right now, is trying to get up to that. And if you're interested in finding ways you can help us keep these things going, that's a great way. Obviously donations for sure, but a way that doesn't cost you a dime and that makes it real easy to accomplish even in this economy is a subscribe, a follow, and tell your friends about us. As always, folks, we'll see you next week. Tight lines, be safe.